So, my dear,
Yeah.
everyone's going to know, people go on betterhealth.com or go to the website and they see people losing weight all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the cynical and skeptical radars go up. And the other thing they say is, well, sure, how is that sustainable?
Yeah.
So I think first of all, I want to thank you for coming on. Secondly, the biggest topic here is how is this sustainable, right? You can lose weight doing shake diets or anything else. So we really want to hear from you. And it's almost like I want feedback. I want to hear your story. So I would like to just kind of, if you could, frame your journey. If you could think back, like when you first got the email or however you came across us, just describe the feelings and the process of how that went along. But my wife always says, don't bury the lead. So we'll start with what your results were and then give us that journey.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your results.
So my results, I'm super excited about my results. I lost 30 pounds. But yeah, right. Woo-hoo. But I tell you what, even more than the weight loss, the energy I got back, and I had started to get a lot of joint pain, and I thought, okay, I'm getting old, right? I mean, I'll just give the number out there. I'm 57. And so I thought, well, this must be normal aging, and my joints are going to hurt. Okay. But I'm still really active. I still ski, and I still, all this stuff. And I thought, wow, am I really going to deal with joint pain the rest of my life? And I'll tell you what, even more than the weight coming off, those pounds, that was nice to get to feel lighter, but to feel less pain in my joints was golden. I mean, just golden, because all of a sudden I felt like I could be more active, because I wasn't in as much pain. And so blood sugar levels going down, all of that stuff is so important. And in my mind, perhaps even more important than the weight loss. So I just feel so much better.
And how long ago was that?
So I started in a fall, a year and a half ago.
Awesome.
So what's happened since then is that I know that if I can tell immediately when I start eating the things that I discovered through this program are not good for my body. Immediately I can start feeling that joint pain again. I start feeling the bloated feeling again. I start feeling more sluggish, less energetic. And I know that if I go back to just eating, some level 1 stuff, go back for a couple of weeks to level 1, I see those results again. I see that, so it feels like what's happened over the last year and a half is that even though I'm not on it all the time, I got to level 3, the 80-20 rule really works well. Then when I get off of that, when I have an unbetter day or an unbetter week or whatever, I travel a lot. It's really hard sometimes when I'm traveling, to find really good food. Then I know that I can reset. And I have done that several times.
So you feel empowered.
I feel empowered. Yep. And the biggest thing, Dr. Farah, is that I know I can do it. I did it the first time. And so if I'm having a hard time, whatever life circumstances, if I can't get the right food, like some people might not right now, I know that when I do get back to it, I actually can do it. I have proof.
Right.
I have life history that I can do it. So
now,
peace of mind.
Have I ever asked you to count a calorie?
No.
Did you ever have to flip a tire in a parking lot?
Flip a tire? No.
Okay, good. So
that's an interesting way to describe exercise of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? So, and the interesting part for you is the pain goes away, but that's a combination of two things. Obviously, the weight loss, taking extra weight off the body, but really what happened was the inflammation went first. Right. So as the inflammation goes down, the insulin resistance goes away. Now your body can start converting this fat to energy, and then the byproduct of that is sustainability.
Yeah.
It's interesting in all the circles. If I'm on LinkedIn today and I'm talking about digital health and diabetes care and psoriatic arthritis, everyone keeps talking about behavior change.
Mhm.
It drives me crazy. All we keep talking about is behavior change, behavior change, behavior change. And I'm like, we just focus on physiological change and the behavior comes along with it.
Yeah.
But the more you try to fight uphill and say, no, we just need to punish you and flip tires and count calories and keep doing the latest fads and the different diets, it just creates more stress. And that's going to create the opposite of behavior change.
That's right.
And so what they've been doing for the last 15 years in this wellness industry is we keep pushing this move more, eat less mentality, punishment mentality. And it's actually driving behavior change in the opposite direction. When you focus on the physiology, you just let the body go to work, and the body's pretty significant. So
yeah, and I think that's I think what you just said is really key. I'm a consultant to churches. I am in the arts, but I'm in ministry, and so I know that people are dealing with difficult times, right?
Right.
Not just now, but there's always difficulties. And
agreed.
And so one of the things that is not helpful is to just that negative self-speak that says, you look how terrible habits and blah blah blah, and actually refocusing on just a really doable plan. Like, do this first, do this second, do this third. Grapefruit is your friend. I'm in my RV right now. I'm parked in Palm Springs because I'm doing research at a nearby university, and these things are all around me. I just go out and I pick these off the tree to have for breakfast. It's like, so
exactly.
amazing. And so the grapefruit is my friend, and then this is my little friend, cream of tartar. If you never knew what this was for, oh my gosh, the adrenal cocktail is golden at night. It's just, and so these very doable things that you just focus on, just do these things rather than, who you are and how, what your history has brought you to this place where you don't feel healthy. So just do these things, and you see it's just very helpful.
Yeah. So to frame it for people out there, essentially the goal here is, we know, as you mentioned, there's stress, right? So there's emotional stress is boundless these days, right? It's constant emotional stress is targeting us. And then there's the physical and chemical stress. Yeah. Also in the industry, we talk about social determinants of health and how, maybe people that have are lower financial status, they don't understand that a cheeseburger is bad for you. Well, listen, they know that. But when you're stressed, your body craves those poor things. And so instead of focusing on that, what we're trying to tell people is, look, you're already under enough emotional stress. Right. Then you're under physical stress, the pesticides, the neurotoxins, the chemical-laden makeups, the water. We now have viruses attacking us from different countries. And we've never had this interconnected community that populations can be so transient, right? So what the protocol here is that the first 30 days, we're going to reset your digestive system, which is this 23-foot long structure that we overlook. It's 23 feet of real estate in here that we can put to our advantage. On top of that, it has 300 trillion natural bacteria, which basically means you're more bacteria than you are human cell. And when you let that nourish, it can handle the stress. It can handle the anxiety. It can reduce the inflammation. It can target fat. It can help you, metabolize carbs, proteins, and fats better. And then in month 2, we're bringing the food back in one by one, like you said, to uncover what your specific trigger foods are. Could you share with people what you found were kind of your trigger foods?
Unfortunately, broccoli does not, it's not my friend.
Broccoli, who knew?
I know. Broccolini is okay, but broccoli, I just have to be careful with that. And of course, my thing is carbs. I just love carbs, but I know how they make me feel, and I know that right away the inflammation begins to, so that 80-20, I'm not gonna deny myself some things every once in a while. I need to have my strawberry rhubarb pie every once in a while,
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, but I do know the consequences of doing that every day. I do know that, and seeing that, and the program was very helpful in systematically helping me see the effects of different things. And so, the mind, body, spirit connection is so powerful. And when I felt empowered in my spirit because I was seeing these effects in my body and how it affects my mind, I'm a PhD, I use my mind all the time. I'm a writer. And when my body is sluggish, my mind is not as sharp, and my spirit feels sluggish. And so when I feel the benefits of all of these things, and have something that supports that, and the coaching and the things, the calls that you do weekly, are just, I know if I need a boost, I just play a recording of a Dr. Farrow call, and it really does help. Because there's the support in the community. So I just think you've hit a really wonderful combination of the theories and the practice and the support.
Thank you so much. I always tell people it is the sum of all of its parts.
Yeah.
A lot of times they ask the secret sauce. I say, well, the secret sauce starts with the paradigm shift, the paradigm of stop telling people how bad they are and tell them how good they are. And how, we constantly are trying to reverse engineer the body, and yet the body was created by somebody so much more powerful than us. So the universe essentially laughs at us every time we try to engineer our way out of it. And it's like, the food you eat today is who you are tomorrow. Yeah. And if it just even 3 days, people always say, well, when do you see the behavior shift? I said, well, in the first 3 days, I tell everybody, just give me 3 days of no alcohol, no sugars, no processed food. Let's get a baseline. Day 4, it's all your choice. Well, what do you think people choose when their weight goes down by 2 or 3 pounds, they're sleeping better, their energy's up? Right. They make the choice. That's when physiology trumps behavior, and then behavior takes it from there.
That's right.
Let's go into the mindset. So tell us how you first heard about us, when you discovered it, because I think that's a lot of times people say, well, you don't understand. It's my genetics, my DNA, my thyroid. I've tried so many things before. And you said something in there earlier about broccoli versus broccolini. That is not a point to just gloss over, because what chance does America have if broccoli versus broccolini could be the difference? I have another woman, it was raspberries and quinoa and Greek yogurt. These are profound things that are holding people back and making them feel bad about themselves. So take us back, walk us back to when you first heard about us, what you were thinking, what research you did, how did you go about it?
Yeah. So a year and a half ago, I was about a year and a half into a separation, and it had been a long time of just kind of not doing good things for my body, being, dealing with some hard depression and stress and that kind of thing. And I finally got to the point where I realized that I was the only one that was going to, empower myself to feel better. And so what's interesting is right around that time, I didn't even start looking for it, but my insurance company actually sent me an email triggered by a slightly elevated lab result in my sugar levels that made me pre-diabetic. And they said, we want you to work on this before it gets out of hand. And so there were 3 options of 3 different programs that they were going to cover. And Better Health was the first one because it started with a B. So I clicked on it, and I looked at it, and I just said, okay, just jump in, because this felt like it just landed in my lap. And so I did that. And now this was actually in the summer, and I was about to go to Ireland for 5 weeks.
Yeah, right. So not a good time.
Not a good time. So I had a call with Zoe, my coach, who's awesome. Shout out to Zoe. Yay.
Zoe.
Yeah. And Zoe was like, yeah, I think we're going to start when you come back. Which was a very good idea. And it was a wonderful trip, and the Irish soda bread, I would have been sad about it. But anyway, so I came back, and I jumped in, and it was fall. It was the beginning of a school year. I'm also a professor. So, it felt like the right time to do it. And I just said, I'm going to follow this to the letter. I needed something to structure my life anyway. And so this really helped me. I printed everything out. I put my schedule on the side of the refrigerator, and I took my supplements at the right time. And, I just followed it. And it was so funny. Like, I talked to my coach maybe a week after I started, and I said, oh my God, I cheated with peanut butter. So he was like, oh, you're doing okay, girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. If peanut butter's your cheat, you're okay.
Right. So that's how I started. It was a prompt.
And in the first week, what kind of results did you see?
I have to remember back, but I mean, I definitely started right away seeing the pounds drop off. And the first 10 pounds was pretty immediate because I was holding way more than my body needed. My body was just like, okay, finally, thank you.
Right.
I don't want to carry this around anymore.
Right.
And so, I felt like that was the jumpstart and the mindset jumpstart and the feeling better and the positive self-speak jumpstart that I needed. And then continued on, with the program all the way through the different levels. Yeah, I just was really, and it gave me peace of mind in terms of just the way that, yeah, I'll tell you, this is really interesting. The first couple of weeks at least, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, you're not suggesting that we do a lot of exercise because our body's going to be dealing with enough change as it is. And I found that to be really helpful because what it said to me was that okay, we're going to take this one step at a time, and we're going to be really good to our bodies, and we're going to give our bodies a lot of grace, and we're going to just get to that baseline and the gut rebalancing and clearing out the gut of the toxins, as well as eating the foods that are anti-inflammatory and gut relaxing, releasing, all those things.
Right.
That felt really good to me, that I wasn't under pressure to do all the things right at the beginning.
Right.
And so by the time I brought exercise in, I went to bar method, and because I'm an ex-professional dancer, that felt really good to me. But it also felt good because by that time I had lost about 15 pounds, and I felt better, like bending over.
Right.
Frankly.
Right.
So by ski season, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. My joints feel better. I'm lighter. I feel more free to move in the ways that I
Yeah.
love.
Well, it's interesting. So the exercise is the one that always boggles people's mind. They're like, what are you talking about? Everyone just is trying to get me to join a boot camp and do all that. And I'm not saying not do those things, but let's think about those weekends. You mentioned one of those weekends. Let's say that weekend off, and all of us do. Right now we have COVID week off, right? So this COVID has us all home, eating terribly, because we're stressed, so we're eating stuff. And by the way, when people tell me there's no food in the grocery store, no, all the bad food is gone. But I'm going to tell you that there are bushels of these that everyone's like, what are those orange things over there? So what I mean is that when you're at your stress, when you're chemically polluted and stressed, and you have a weekend where you were drinking with your friends, the first thing everyone ever says is, on Monday, I'm going back to the gym. That's the first thing they say. And you know what your body says? Oh, hell no. No, you are not, because I am malnourished, I'm toxic, I'm dehydrated.
Right.
That's like, you don't want to put that on a treadmill. What you want to do is take a week of nourishment. And so in this case, that is one rule, is we want to get the inflammation out. And then we want to figure out what foods are causing inflammation. Because we know exercise causes inflammation, but it can cause it in a good way. That could be a good stress if your body's prepared for it, prepared for the repair. And so it's all about prepping for that. And then what the goal is that you have so much now bound up energy. You're like, I want to go back to bar. I want to go back to bar, instead of saying, I have to go back to bar.
Right.
And when that shift happens, it's like, game over. You get your groove back.
Yeah. I mean, if you go right away and you're feeling like your body's feeling like crap, then the experience of the movement, the exercise, feels like crap, and then you don't want to go back because you don't want to feel like crap, right?
Right, exactly. It's masochistic. And then the other thing is that when I was I had offices the way I came up with this, I used to have offices inside health clubs. Oops. I used to have, can you see me? There you go. I used to have offices inside health clubs, and I would watch people come in by the droves, work their butt off, follow somewhat of the food recommended, which was calories in, calories out, and not lose anything. And so we kept thinking, oh, well, they're lazy. When they leave here, I can see them go to McDonald's and across the parking lot and eating. And we blame them for that. But really, they were in the drive-thru like, I'm starving. Give me something, because their body was so overly stressed. And so two things happened. They were stressed, inflamed, and they have cravings. The other thing is they weren't planning their food out. They didn't have that habit yet. So, of course, they're going to grab. That's natural. And then we would shame them the next morning. Well, you better get in here. Or the other memes I hate on Facebook and Instagram is when you see someone say, just do 10 minutes more and then you can enjoy that martini. It's like, actually, if you just have like 2 more glasses of water, you probably could still enjoy the martini.
Right. Yeah, and the water thing is big. I really, when I'm drinking more water, that is what really works wonders. And I can tell, and I have a hard time drinking the water. I don't, it's just not when I'm in dry climates like this, that's easier. But one of the things that I found is that, I got a sustainable straw that I can reuse, but drinking out of straw helps me drink more water, and drinking it at room temperature, because I used to always do ice. In fact, whenever I'm in Europe, I would complain, oh, nobody uses ice. But I realized that I can drink more water if it's room temperature. And so learning some of those things has really helped me drink more water. And that is so key for the body. This hydration is just, it's amazing. And I can tell the difference when I am not doing that.
Absolutely. So the reason why I'm doing these is I want to turn lemons into lemonade. So here we have this opportunity where everybody is home. Mm-hmm. We can actually teach our kids how to cut an onion. We can use our crock pots. Instead of gaining 20 pounds over this stressful time, we can get back to the kitchen and actually create some sustainable family life and get us back to the dinner table, because that's truly where our bonding has always been. And we basically, we got rid of that. That's gone in America. And so I feel like this is something that we can utilize this. So what we're doing is, there'll be a link on here where people can go to our quiz. We're letting them enroll for $1, because I know you covered by your insurance. We have a lot of insurance clients, but we also have those that don't have it covered by insurance. Yep. They can enroll for $1 and then pick out some package that works for them. We have things now, because of the COVID thing, we've reduced it where it's like you can start for $49 up to $99. We've bought a lot of things. But my goal here is that it's an investment in the person, but it's an investment in their family, so they understand and get educated, because we got kids in their 23 years old suffering from anxiety and depression, when yet they have everything material, right? But they're from the gut inside out, and that is the amazing part. And I hope we can use this time to get people back around, get with that coach. I know initially people are like, I don't know if I want to coach, because they've associate the coach with saying, you're a bad person, you're a bad person. Our coach is like, no, you're a great person, and my job is like a concierge to just help you see that and help you get through it. What would you say to someone about the coaching?
Yeah, I would just encourage them, because I get that. Like, it's having somebody watch you can be really unnerving, and can be scary. But it's not really about watching and that word accountability can be just a little bit scary. Sure. But it did make a difference for me to think, to take the pictures and upload the pictures and say, and just delight in taking beautiful pictures of beautiful, good food. And always my coach has been very encouraging. Like when I was beating myself up for peanut butter or worse, she was like, it's no biggie. You're doing amazing. And the thing is, this is about doing better, not perfect. And so it's so encouraging, and however you are training them or passing on your philosophy to them really works, because it really is grace-filled. It's really encouraging, and it's this, and I recognize it in the same way that I try to do my own coaching and consulting with churches. And it's a really hard time. People are doing things for the first time right now. They're doing online worship, and I just did a webinar with over 900 people on it. And I said to them, wow, you are doing things that you had never imagined. You're not trained for it. You're learning things quickly, but you are rocking it, no matter how great it is or how homespun it is. It doesn't matter, because you're giving it a go. And really you're doing it because you care. And so I want us to care about our bodies as well, right? I want us to care for ourselves. And what a great opportunity, actually. I found it really difficult to concentrate in these days unless I'm really doing something very focused department, right? And just some beautiful things that you can eat, and have some help from some recipes, some things that are really great, and get the family in on it. I just wrote a ritual for families to do called comfort food, but it's not about processed food. It's about the kind of comfort we give each other by actually being at the table together.
Totally.
and
Yes.
cooking together. And so that's what the real comfort is. The processed food is not the real comfort. The real comfort
Right.
comes from our connections, from being together, from sitting around the table, cooking together, that kind of thing, and loving our bodies with good stuff.
Absolutely. So we're gonna end with this quiz. So the programs, our sciences, our philosophy is there is no one size fits all. Our science is based upon gut health, low inflammatory. So who said this following quote? Look well to the gut. I'll give you multiple choice. Look well to the gut for the root of all disease. It was A, Aristotle, B, Hippocrates, C, Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, it could have been all three. It could have been any one of those three. But Jerry Seinfeld is so different than the other two. I'm just going to guess that it was that.
Yeah, Hippocrates. So the father of all modern medicine,
of course,
said all these thousands of years ago, look well to the gut for all disease. And it took us this long to figure out that he was right. So
right. And then Jerry Seinfeld probably said something about poop after that.
Yeah. What is it with this food? Why does everybody want me to flip tires? It was so great to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you everyone out there for watching. Talk to you soon, sweetheart. Okay. I'm so proud of you. You got your groove back.
Got my groove on. Yeah.
See you later. Bye.